Hey there, this is Mike from Mike Buys Houses. Every week we're speaking with homeowners who have different questions. And if it's a good question, I just try and make it a video for you at home. And if you're going through a similar situation, we just try and provide the best guidance that we can to these homeowners, even if we're not the buyers for them. So this week's question was how to move if your house is not sold yet. And I thought that was a great question. So here's some of the things that we talked about. First off, depending on the status of the market or the timing of the year, it can be difficult to get your house sold, especially if you need to do it quickly for like a job relocation or something like that. Even if you have it priced super great and makes sense and should be a quick sale, you would think. But say it's near the holidays, it might just be a tough time to sell, or there's been changes in interest rates or something like that. It may just be a tough time to get buyers. So just some things to consider first off. So what can you do if you do need to move and your house hasn't sold yet? Some of the things that we often see first off is to rent it out. We see that as a big option for homeowners, especially if there's a little bit of difference between what you're paying every month in principal and interest and taxes and insurance and what the property could potentially rent for. There are some other costs that we see homeowners forget about. So you want to remember first off that insurance is going to be higher when it's not an owner-occupied house anymore and it's a landlord policy, so it's going to cost more money. And then there's some other things to think about, especially if you're moving away. First off, you're going to probably need a property manager, so that's going to be 10% of whatever the rent is coming in. You need to consider vacancies, so you're having a tough time finding buyers. Potentially, you may also have that same situation with renters, so the house may be vacant, and then you're paying mortgage on two houses, which we've seen can be obviously an issue for people. And then some other things to consider is the maintenance every month. We usually see that anywhere from 5 to 10% of the rent is kind of like a industry normal. And then capital expenditures. So that means like saving for the big things that are going to go eventually, like the windows, the roof, the HVAC, the electrical, just saving all that money up because eventually those things are going to wear and tear. And you're going to have to replace them. So that's just another 5 to 10% we see typically saved in the industry. The next option, if you need to move and your house hasn't sold, that we often see is to turn it into like a short-term rental, so like an Airbnb kind of thing. Typically, it's going to require you to furnish the house, but can increase the amount of money that you make every month in rent. Going to be a little bit more work from your end as far as either paying for a property manager, again, like we mentioned, or kind of coordinating like that cleaning and scheduling everything. So there's definitely a lot of guides if that's something you're interested in, and just an idea if your house hasn't sold yet and you do need to truly move. You can also turn it into a midterm rental, they're called. So that's for like corporate travel jobs or like travel nursing, travel healthcare kind of things. And that's another option that we often see. The next option that you may consider is to decrease your asking price more, depending on the situation, if that's possible, if there's enough equity in the property. If there is not, then you should definitely reach out to us. We can show you how we may still be able to help you sell your property, even if there's not enough equity and you do need to move. And then the last thing that we often see is homeowners letting the other property just go to foreclosure, just stop making payments on it. We often see this, after they tried maybe being a landlord and that just wasn't for them because, sometimes if you get the wrong combination of, things going wrong or tenants being an issue or even neighbors being an issue, then costs can really start to add up quickly. And then that's when we've seen, the properties in disarray. And then now it's really difficult to get sold. And then homeowners just let it go to foreclosure. This will have a negative credit impact, and if you want to check out our videos on our channel, we have a bunch of other information about how it could be harmful to your credit if you do let a property go to foreclosure. But if you're looking to sell your property, especially if you need to move or you need to sell your property as is, or if there's not enough equity, you should definitely reach out to us. You can do that at MikeBuysHousesPA.com or give us a call, 267-984-4765. And we look forward to helping you any way that we can. Have a good one.